This year, 2024, we all know how AI is becoming a major component on many smartphones, from mid-range to flagship phones. Before, it's more of a luxury than a necessity, and now it's becoming a major part of any phone. Personally, it's not bad, but there should always be limitations. Hey guys, it's your Tech Girl Mary, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Yes, finally, we have here the newest Realme 13 Pro Plus 5G. Syempre, kaya ganun ang intro natin is because Realme's newest devices also now has AI. Anyway, I have a lot of mixed feelings on this device. So, let's start with how much it is. Realme 13 Pro Plus 5G's retail price is 28,999 pesos. And this is for the 256 gig of storage. And for the 512 gig, it retails for 31,999 pesos. I know the price is pretty steep, but let's give this phone a chance. Pag-usapan muna natin. Unang-una, the Realme aesthetics. Design language, hindi ito nagkakalayo doon sa Realme 12 series. There are two color options, but what I got is the Monet Gold. Glass yung back niya with a very unique pattern. The device is also easy to hold, not too heavy, probably because the frame is still plastic. Siguro kaya very familiar pa rin yung design niya is because they kept the circular camera module. But this time, meron na siyang Hyper Image Plus logo at the bottom. Other than these, everything remained the same, like yung button placement and of course, yung USB-C port natin and the speaker. In the box, aside from the smartphone, you are also getting 80 watts of power brick, Type A to Type C charging cable, a case, paperwork, and syempre yung panundot natin. Display hardware, actually the same pa rin, but with improvements in terms of brightness. Obviously, they increased the brightness para mas maganda yung visibility under direct sunlight, and that is what I experienced. Although, viewing experience I would say is very typical sa mga smartphones na in competition nito. But let's focus on this phone. The display is vivid, and in fairness, streaming Full HD resolution is nice because of its Widevine L1 certification. But to those who are expecting an HDR because of its pricing, wala po siya nito. Syempre, if we have HDR, mas enhance yung picture quality, mas masayang gamitin. Anyway, cameras naman tayo. On paper, well, according to Realme, this is the first smartphone that sports a 50 megapixel Sony LYT 701 sensor. This is also the same sensor used on its periscopic lens. And lastly, the 8 megapixels ultra-wide lens. Aside from the megapixel count I mentioned, itong camera system ng Realme has a Hyper Image Plus technology, which according to them will really help enhance the photo using both on-device AI algorithm and the cloud-based AI image editing. Or in layman's term, mas mabuboost niya yung image clarity at the same time the dynamic range. In real world, maganda yung naging output ng photos ng device na to. May mga times lang na overboard yung saturation to the point that some photos gets contrasty. At the same time, every time na nagpipicture ako ng tao, I appreciate that the skin tones are accurate. Now, when it comes to the telephoto camera, kung maaalala nyo yung 12 Pro Plus dati, ang ganda ng periscope telephoto sensor niya. Ngayon, I believe mas nag-improved siya. Very natural pa rin yung bokeh niya while using portrait lens, and hindi nagbago yung kulay when it comes to switching from the main to this lens. Gladly, both of these two cameras I mentioned has an OIS, so maganda siya gamitin even in low light and even for taking videos. And then when it comes to ultra-wide and even selfies, they are both decent. Though yung photos in low light conditions, medyo may pagka-hit or miss. Hindi ko rin masyadong nagustuhan yung HDR niya. Buti na lang guys, yung video performance, I noticed, nag-improved ito. It shoots both in 4K and 1080p resolution, but maxes out at 30 FPS. May ultra steady mode naman tayo dito, but it only works at 1080p, which is why hindi talaga ganun ka-stabilized yung mga 4K footages natin. But again, they are good for as long as you will use a tripod. Na-mention ko yung mga bago, how about yung mga hindi binago? Yes, Realme 13 Pro Plus performance and even the software department did not change. It still is powered by a Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 SoC. While I know it offers decent performance, which is ito naman din yung na-experience ko sa kanya, lalong-lalo na if multitasking lang and of course a bit of gaming, I believe may ibang smartphones na nasa same segment niya na mas powerful. Yung review unit ko, 512GB yung storage, yung pinakamalaki. In fairness naman, sa panahon ngayon, halos normal na lang yung ganito kalaking storage. Noon, kung maaalala nyo, 2 or 3 years ago, kailangan flagship phone yung bilhin mo para makakuha ka ng 512GB. Daily task like pag-run ng multiple apps, paggamit ko ng camera, pag-open ko ng mga social media applications, it performed well. However, yung mga graphics-intensive games, most likely, this will only run on medium settings. Anyway, yung naging user experience ko naman sa kanya is good, considering din na may dual speaker stereo setup ito. It gets pretty loud and for me, it's a good pair of speakers. But since we got a new camera hardware at the same time, bagong AI features, it could have been best siguro kung in-upgrade din nila yung chipset. Because again, at the end of the day, a lot of these new features really relies on its chipset. Now, while I know the performance isn't that great, I believe yung battery and charging niya really makes up for it. I was a bit surprised na meron siyang 5,200 mAh, especially yung mga smartphones in competition to this phone only gets 5,000. Real life usage, we were able to binge watch, use social media, and do some testing in at least 1 day and a half. Charging is also quick at 80 watts. Buti na lang guys, yung capability niya is also 80 watts. May mga phones kasi na yung power brick na kasama sa kanya ang lakas pero yung capability lang ng phone ay mas mababa. Which again doesn't make sense to me. Now, eto na. Discuss natin yung price point niya, value, and of course, verdict. When it comes to its competition, marami. Ang daming naglabasang phones recently like of course, the Honor 200 series. Meron din tayong Reno 12 series. Tapos, syempre, Realme 13 series. Hindi pa tapos, meron pang Vivo V series na parating at marami pang iba. Kanya-kanya rin sila ng camera gimmick. At the same time, most of these phones may AI din. I think where Realme stands out here is the battery and the telephoto performance. Each of these phones I mentioned, may kanya-kanya silang strengths. And I believe kung ano man yung piliin nyo between them, is a matter of personal preference na lang and priorities. When it comes to sustainability, I believe marami rin akong kilalang users na ang tagal na sa kanila ng Realme device nila and hanggang ngayon is working well. Anyway, yes, that's basically it. Alam ko medyo natagalan yung video natin than the usual schedule, but hey, sana it's worth the wait. Again, it's your Tech Girl Mary and see you on our next video. Bye!